The plastic tool as well is a. Let me see if there's a brand on here. I can't see one. I don't see a brand on here. But yeah, this is I believe it's called a plastic scraper. And what I do know is it came with this. This is probably the brand. I believe it is a Scotty Peeler brand. Scotty Peeler plastic scraper. Again, this came off Amazon. It was, I don't know, $12, something like that. So this is a metal one, which I'll sometimes use if I have to for like stickers on paper or something like that. The ones where it's gonna be a really, really hard pain to get those off. Actually, I do expect I will probably use that later on in the stream for a different part of the cleaning thing. But yeah, that's a Scotty Peeler. So see if you, again, it came with this metal version and several of these plastic ones. They certainly don't last forever. I would say you'll probably get maybe 3 months or so of use out of these before the edges start to get really goobered up. But again, they're kind of cheap enough that you can just kind of get new ones if you need them. Also have a blue one that is already kind of goobered on the edges, you can see. So I've moved on to my red one next. And then I also have a white one that I don't think I've used yet. So it should have a pretty clean edge on it still. And then Mr. Mullet Gaming asked me before that if I restore gaming systems. I would say certainly not officially. I've done a few of my own, like my own systems that, weren't working. I would say it was mostly like a pandemic project for me. I had an old Nintendo system, for my old kids and stuff. You're in act up. I'll explain the mat here in a second again. But yeah, do I restore my own systems? Yeah. So during the pandemic, I had a Nintendo system that wasn't working, and I also at my parents' place found like my uncle's old Nintendo system that also wasn't working. Very much the obvious thing that's wrong with every Nintendo system, which is that like 86 pin connector had gone bad or whatever. So I did the thing where you take the whole thing out, put it in boiling water for a bit, and then bend all the contacts back together with like some dental cleaning tools. And then put those back together and try to see what I had. So my childhood NES, one of the controller ports doesn't seem to work right, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it because I'm just an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing. But thankfully, my uncle had his Nintendo was working after I fixed and cleaned the 86-pin connector. So I've restored like that system, but that's kind of all I've done. I don't know how to solder it yet. I haven't done that at all yet, so that's something I really should learn how to do at some point. I have an old Sega Game Gear, for example, that definitely needs to be, what's that called? Where you take the capacitor thing and change it out. Recapped. There it is. I got there eventually. Yeah, I need to recap a Sega Game Gear at some point. Another thing I'd like to do if I was comfortable with soldering is replace batteries in a lot of my Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. So yeah, I have. I just tried out Wario Land 3 last week as part of the Polykill challenge for trying to get every letter of your alphabet. I was trying to get maybe a Wario Land game for my W's, and unfortunately that one doesn't have a battery, and I don't know. I don't think it'll save unless I try to switch it. So Bad Times Good Times is now following. Hello, thank you so much for coming to join us here in the cleaning stream. We're all hanging out at the moment, doing some cleaning games. So I'm busy talking at the moment, but that's okay. And then Top Spot, you were asking me about the mat again, so let me explain that again. This also came from Amazon. I got it in the same order as my Scotty Peelers, but it's just a silicone mat that helps protect the cases and games and stuff as I'm trying to clean stuff up. I really like all the compartments that kind of will help hold my things. So. You're watching a lot of gaming system restorations, but they're too complex for you. Yeah, I feel the same way. The NES is about as far as I can go. I think the big problem for me is I'm absolutely terrified of ruining my childhood device. I just don't, even if it's like putting an IPS screen on an old Game Boy or something like that, I'm so scared that I will break my original system that I had growing up and it's just I just don't think it's worth the risk for me. I don't think I'm willing to commit to it, but I also don't want to spend a bunch of money to buy someone else's Game Boy and try it on that one either. So I'm in the same boat as you for sure. All right, so we got Arkham Asylum Blackgate cleaned up. We're gonna test it out to make sure the contacts work. This might be impossible to get off without taking my gloves off. Nope, there we go. All right. There we go. Forgot where the power button is on this thing. That's a bad sign. Always a pay an expert kind of guy, Top Spot. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm getting there. I'm more and more of a pay to have an expert to do it. I think I have a hard time differentiating between pay an expert to do it or pay someone else to do it because I'm lazy and trying to figure out what's the difference between those two things. But you're right. I think stuff like electronics, stuff like plumbing, by the way, I don't want to get that wrong. I better get an expert in here to do that. Even electrician stuff. Like, I have some light switches I need to switch out, and I'm just, again, kind of afraid I'm going to make my whole house not work for electricity because I goof something up. Or shock myself. That's also a bad idea. All right, looks like we've got... well, I think so. Did it just freeze? No, it's still going. Okay, so we've got Batman Arkham Asylum working just fine. That's good. There's not going to be like a gameplay stream like this. I'm not just going to stream me playing this game with reflections on or anything. I just want to make sure it was working. It's good. Go ahead and close that one out. Cool. Yep. Put that to the side. I've got another 3DS game to try out later, but for now I'll put these clean ones to the side. Later I will also add those to my Game Eye app that I use for keeping track of all the games that I own, all the physical media. But for now I'll just go ahead and continue with the cleaning. Next one I got in a I think it was like an eBay lot is the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Which I think is not supposed to be as good as the first Amazing Spider-Man, but I got this for like, I want to say $1.50, I think is what I paid for this game. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. Actually, honestly, this dude is like impeccable. I don't think I have anything to clean. Even those contacts don't seem to have anything on it. I may leave this one alone. Front is in pretty good shape. It's got maybe like a little like nick or ding on it. I can't even see it in the camera because it's not because I'm doing a bad job showing it, because it's barely there. So I may not do anything with that one. We'll consider that like a pickup video part where I also bought Amazing Spider-Man 2. All right, let's move on to Nintendo DS games then. This is all part of an eBay lot I got. This is Rainbow Islands Revolution on DS. With a little bit of label damage on it. It's got some discoloration down here and a little like nick up there that I probably am not going to be able to do anything with. It looks like it's even got a little bit of like water damage on it. Like the Nintendo seal is a little goofed up on it. So we're going to clean this guy up before we try to put it in my system and make sure it works. So. Top Spot, you've got a few other switches to do as well, or switches to clean up as well, and you're afraid to mess them up. Yeah, I get that for sure. All right, so I'm just gonna take a toothbrush and put a few drops of isopropyl alcohol on it. We got 91% here, just in a little like I just have it in a little kind of drippy bottle, whatever, so I don't have to use a whole ton of it or get out a whole big giant container every time I'm trying to clean my games. And I'm just going to take the brushes and just kind of wipe across there a little bit. Ooh, I do see, that looks like that might be some damage on the second act on there. See if you can see it from there. A little white line might be actual damage as opposed to just dirt and grime. So we'll test this one out. It might work, it might not. I don't think there's a lot I can do to the front of this guy. I think it's just going to have to be as it is. I'm afraid of getting it worse with getting any liquid or fluids underneath that label. So let's put it in a Nintendo DS and see if we can get it to boot up. Oh, that's a good sign. Rainbow Islands Revolution. All right, it's booting up. This is good. This is good. Oh, heck yeah. I was really worried about this one. When I saw that ding on the second contact there, I thought for sure. Oh, yeah. Excellent. How far have we gotten on... Oh, it looks like it just starts new. Okay. Anyway, that's that game. Very excited that's working. Put that in the it's good pile. Next one up, kind of related, from the same eBay lot, is a New Zealand story. Show off that one a little bit. A little bit of sticker glue on the back. A little bit of dirty contacts. So I suppose I'll just start with my little peeler device here and just kind of get off some of those residual sticker things best I can. So it kind of feels like it's like an old paint. But it still comes off kind of about the same way. Well, it did. It was before I said something. All right, so that's not coming off with that. Let's try... get out my little paper towel again. Spray with some Method all-purpose cleaner. And keep away from the label for now, but we're just going to kind of see if we can just get off any of that with just a little bit of mild cleaner. And at the same time, we'll just be cleaning up any sort of dirt or grime that's on this cartridge. Again, I'm still trying to avoid the label best I can. Get these edges. Yeah, it almost looks like it's got flecks of paint on it. That little white dot right there. Like, that's not a sticker. Something else. I don't think I can get it with this. A little bit's coming off. I'm afraid to use something stronger than this plastic. I don't think I want to try to use the metal scraper on here because I think it'll likely do more damage than it's worth. But again, like I said earlier, my goal is generally just to kind of make it better than it was. It's not to make it perfect. So in that case, I mean, it's a little less noticeable than it was. So I think we'll live with that. I think we'll move on to trying to clean those contacts and see if we can get that looking a little better, and then try to make sure it plays. I guess at the end of the day, that's really the goal, is get it in a playable state. So that's the thing about really collecting games on a budget, is if you don't care too much about what they look like, if you don't care too much about if it's a player's choice game, if you don't care too much about if it's in a generic case or not, as long as it plays, you know, that's a good way you can do collecting on a budget, I guess. If you really think about what is your goal, right? Is your goal to be able to tell everyone that you have an expensive collection that you could sell off one day, or is your goal to like own games that you can play depending on your mood or depending on what genre you're looking for, you know? So I try to tell myself I'm more of the second category. Oh good, that's booting up pretty good so far. I try to remind myself as often as I can that the reason I'm collecting all these games is to play them, right? Like that's kind of the polykill challenge and the polykill mantra almost, is to just, play your games, play the games you own, give them a shot, try out some stuff that you may not have been willing to try, but you probably have somewhere. Excellent. New Zealand story is booting up just fine. All right, that looks good. Looks good. Let's move on to another one. Let's do... Oh, here's a big one for you. We're going to call this a hidden gem, perhaps. This is Jake Power Fireman, an Ubisoft game that's basically for children. Bad times, you thought the goal was just to hoard them and pretend you're playing them? I think that's what you do if you own a PlayStation Vita or one of those systems. I think the goal for a PlayStation Vita owner is hoard all the games. Do not let anyone like Chad Garvin buy any Vita games. They're all sold out. They are all in Blink's game room already. There are no more Vita games available for purchase. You can't buy any. I own 2 physical Vita games. That's it. Every other Vita game is like way beyond my budget of what I'm willing to spend for a handheld game that I bought, or that I purchased a Vita like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. Like I was not, it's not like a childhood system I have nostalgia for, right? I just got it to, have a few cool games, and eventually hack it. That was the other thing I wanted to do. So, all right, we got that one cleaned off. I think the cartridge here looks in pretty good shape. I don't think I need to wipe this one down too much. Good. You don't actually collect very many physical games anymore. You just buy the ones that are special and just emulate the rest. Yeah, that's a really good point too. Is with emulation, it makes it really hard to say, like, why do I need to buy a game that costs really anything more than like $30? Is like, you could just emulate that, and especially because it's not like there's 1 or 2 or 3 $30 games or higher and then you're done. Like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of expensive physical medias out there that you could spend everything you have doing that. Oh, Jake Power Fireman, heck yeah. Yeah, hacking the Vita is great. You also have a PSP 1000 that's hacked, and within within months of buying it, you hack that up too. Yep. Now I did have I have a PSP that's hacked as well, but my memory card like broke. The fake memory card you could get that was better than the proprietary one. It broke inside the system and snapped, and I lost all of my data off my hacked PSP, so I have to like start over. But I don't feel like doing it yet, so I haven't done it. I don't even know. Oh, it must be a touchscreen. Oh, Chief wants to see me. I'm in trouble. Anyway, Jake Power, Fireman, working great. Fireman games end up being really shockingly good video games. The premise of it is really solid. It's almost like say a golf game. Like golf games make a better video game than they do an actual sport to play, in my opinion. The mechanics of it are really fun to do something like that. But Fireman games, they end up being like first-person shooters a lot of times, or cool puzzlers that just use like fire instead of like actual humans to kill and destroy. So they're really good action games for children. When you don't want them, shooting humans yet, because they're, I don't know, 6 years old or 8 years old, you can get them like a Fireman game or something like that. The Steam Deck has become your preferred emulation machine. Now that's a good call too. I do also have a Steam Deck. I have emulated it a little bit. I just haven't put any ROMs on it yet, but I do have all the systems and stuff on it so far. A little heavy, I think, for constant emulation, especially compared to like the Vita, which is much lighter and has a similar screen, kind of. All right, this is the item in that eBay lot that made me buy the whole lot, was Space Invaders Extreme 2. I own the first one, but not the second one. It's got a few sticker residue things here on the front. I'm just gonna see if I can scrape off some of that. Scrape off the physical stuff, and then I'll wipe off with the cleaner any of the goo that's left over. There we go. PS2 emulation on the deck is amazing. Playing the deck with it's just my arm workout, bruh. That is hard to argue with. A little more, just a tiny bit. Foul here. I'll have to get a new one here pretty soon, but for now we're still good. That off. Just a little more elbow grease. Get some of that thicker goo off of there. See if I can just do it with just this cleaner, and hopefully I don't have to pull out something stronger than this. Again, just kind of getting the edges around here, trying to avoid the label as best I can. Okay, dry paper towel at the end. Still not. See if I can get just a quick wipe on the label itself to get that cleaned up a little bit. Should be a little better. Not bad. See if I can get that little white piece done off. Nope. Nice. All right, let's get these contacts. Just a few little drips from my alcohol. That's there. Another one that would needing to be wiped down on the contacts pretty bad. I was just gonna say there's a tiny little mark about there, but it looks like I just got it with here. All right, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get Space Invaders Extreme 2 to boot. I do have the first one of these, so I wanted to get another one. Hello, Crown the Lion. Welcome on in. Thanks for coming to join our cleaning stream. Love seeing the old Power Up Awards card is still getting some use. That's right. This makes an extremely good barrier between the vinyl case and my gouging tool. So, Space Invaders Extreme 2 looking good so far. Always good to see the system can recognize the game. That's always good. And then it's booting up without getting any errors. Excellent. Very excited. That's working great. All right, so we'll put that one to the side and clean another one. Another good one. All right, this is the last Nintendo DS game I have for this cleaning stream. This is Devilish, a pinball game that was on the Sega Mega Drive, I want to say. I think it was. I can't remember. Got a little bit of smearing on that the game identification ink that's on there. Looks like someone else must have used a cleaner on this that was too strong. They probably used an alcohol or something on the back of this and wiped up a lot of that identification stamp on the back. So I will try to leave that alone. I don't want to take off any more ink than it's already gone. The good news is this is in pretty physically good condition. Honestly, the contacts are pretty good too. Again, I think someone probably pre-cleaned this before I got this one. So let's just throw this straight in here. See if it's working without messing around with it. I'm curious to hear also while I'm booting this one up. What is everyone else playing right now? What's everyone working on? I know some of us are trying to work on some yearly challenges of, trying to make plans for how to conquer some games for the whole year. So anybody working on any big meaty games at the moment? Currently, I am working on a playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses with my wife. I've played it once before, but she's never played it. So I'm just doing a different house than I played the first time. All right, that's booting up just good. Yeah, pinball, what's up? Oh no. Okay, I'm not actually going to play this game, but I'm excited to see it's working. But yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think we are 75-ish hours into a playthrough right now, and we're just getting to the good part, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to spoil it any more than that, because my wife doesn't even know what's happening. But I think we still have another 50 to 70 hours left to go on that. And I still have the Fire Emblem Engage that I just got and haven't even played it yet. So Here's a good value game for you. This is a Nicktoons 4-in-1 pack. Comes with SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge, Nicktoons Freeze Frame Frenzy, Family Odd Parents Shadow Showdown, and Rocket Power Zero Gravity Zone, all in one cartridge. Bad times, good times. You're definitely not just replaying Demon Souls Remake for the third time this month. No, that couldn't be you. Couldn't be you. Crown the Lion is doing Dragon Quest XI in less than a year, and also thinking about booting up Final Fantasy XII. Yeah, Dragon Quest XI. I need to reopen my save file to see how far I am into that game, but I want to say I'm like 200 hours or something, and like still not rolling credits yet. It's a beefy boy for sure. The other fun thing with Dragon Quest XI is I'm playing on 2D mode. Because the 3D mode, especially in the towns, when you're like going around looking for all the items hiding on rooftops, that made me really motion sick, and I couldn't do it. So instead, we just switched over to the 2-dimensional mode and been playing that way, which is fun in a lot of ways. It's very different from the 3D, way more than I would have thought it was. The worst part about it is you don't get any of the like cutscenes. All the 3D cutscenes, like they just like don't show them in 2D mode. Like, sorry, you don't get these, which is really disappointing. By the way, I've just got a Q-tip in here. I just kind of got the end wet with some of that isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm just kind of sticking that in here just to clean off those contacts a little bit. And I'm kind of checking to see if there's any color that comes up. If I get like a brownish color or even yellowish, I know I got more cleaning to do. I got to get back in there with probably more of that isopropyl alcohol, maybe a second Q-tip to get that clean. But this one came up pretty clean. It's in pretty good shape. I'm not too worried about this one. Pop that in a Game Boy Advance SP, power that on, and see if we can get our new Nicktoons game going. The cool thing about the 2D is I like the battle system. Like the battles go faster, I think, because you get to just like mash the A button and you don't have to worry about like watching your character do their attack animation. The bad news is you can't see the monsters on the map anymore. Now you have random encounters, like you would have, I don't know, 25 years ago in a JRPG. Anything before Chrono Trigger, really. All right, so that looks like that's booting up just fine. All those 4 games are good to go. Excellent. All right, so that one's clean too. Oh, we're doing good. Okay, what do I want to move to next? Let's continue doing cartridges, I think, and then we'll move on to discs and vinyl cases later. So next one up I have is Hybrid Heaven. This one looks like it's been cleaned a little bit before. There used to be some sort of permanent marker that was on here. Hello, Mellow Level is now following. Please say hello. Hello! Welcome to the fun times we're having here. Now, I understand Mellow Level is also a relatively new streamer, so welcome in. I hope you are enjoying your journey as much as I am. It's been fun. All right, so first thing I'm going to try to do here is clean off the permanent marker with a using an old dry erase marker. I'm going to try to mark on where the permanent marker is, and then try to wipe it off and see if I can get some of the permanent marker to come with it. Look at the professional gloves on this guy. Thank you, Blink. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're having a nice, relaxing Sunday. We here in Ohio are all talking about how much snow we have. We've got an impromptu snow day here in Ohio. No, still a pretty baby in the streaming sphere. Yes, I feel like I am too. I think this is like my 7th stream total. I took like a whole month off due to the holidays and stuff, but I'm back in it now. No better way to spend a snow day than collection cleaning. Yes, it's a good day to be inside. So, all right, so we're just gonna try this on this end. I'm gonna try just getting a little hit up there. I'm just gonna try to wipe it off. See if any of that text will come off. So this should take me several attempts because I have to pick up all the ink that I'm putting back down here. But I think it's working out okay so far. So I'm just gonna try to maybe I'll kind of divide this into fourths. kind of do like quadrants of cleaning here. Not like Minnesota. You guys don't have any snow in Minnesota. I don't. Got some older stuff laying around here in its own filth, waiting for some pro strats. So yeah, if you can't tell, that bottom corner is really, it's really coming up. I don't have much of that permanent marker left on here. I'm gonna give it yet one more bath of this expo marker, and then we'll move on to another quadrant after that. Yeah, it's pretty good looking so far. Maybe a few little dots so far, but let's go ahead and get the rest of this, and then maybe we'll go back for any of the parts we need to hit up again a second time. So, Blink has never seen a snow. Not sure what it would even look like. Now that said, I have Leo, a kitten who is about 9 months old. Who this is, I think, his second ever snow that he's seen, but the first one where he really got to like watch the snowflakes fall out of the sky. And Leo was having a real good time with that. He thought that was really nice, really cool. Make sure I don't put any of that on the label. Wipe that away. Looking better. Give it another go. Just takes a couple different coatings of doing this. Hitting up some of those spots where I just see some of that permanent marker that's still on there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. H is very stubborn, but I am very patient. So we'll see who wins. H is already starting to come up a little bit. Absolutely blew my mind the first time I saw that you could use a expo marker, a dry erase marker, to get a permanent marker off of a cartridge. Get off that ink, that permanent ink that's been on there for several decades. Man, I was blown away by that. I had no idea something like that was even possible. Looking pretty good so far. That's right, Mr. Mullet Gaming is another one who's been recently streaming as well. Let's see if we can get this top part here. There's quite a few of us, actually, I would say, who have been trying to get in on it relatively recently. Mr. Mullet Gaming is one. Top Spot doing a little bit in there. Top Spot, well known for the YouTube videos. Trying out some of that live streaming as well. You'll love to see it. Love to see it. All right, let's do a progress report. Doing pretty good. Some of those H's on Hybrid Heaven are still there. So we're definitely not done yet, but it's going well. So I want to hit up in here. Good for now. Much better. I agree. Coming up pretty good. Almost gone. A few little spots I want to hit up again. Back end. I don't have a paper towel on this. Probably have to get a new one. Yep, doing okay, but it's time for a new paper towel. Get a fresh one on here. Where did I put my roll? There it is. I believe Blink is currently working on Fire Emblem Engage. I'm absolutely jealous of him. I'm still stuck in Fire Emblem Three Houses land. Can't get out yet. Not allowed to get out until it's over. We got to see that one through. I was thinking about streaming that one too, but it's such a long game. It would be like all I do would be playing that game on stream. So I could see it being fun to like take on a big game like that, and I think that genre is like pretty well in my wheelhouse. I think I'm able to talk through a gameplay like that pretty well, maybe better than an average person would, or better than I would with other games. But man, that's your whole life. You're streaming that game, doing anything else. All right, there's one more spot here in the middle. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more of this H. And this might be my last one. Might be my last attempt at this marker. What's funny is like I'm not even like I'm one of those people who gets like the label stickers on my Nintendo 64 game, so I can stick them all in my library, you know, like this vertically. So I'm gonna put a sticker right here anyway, so you're not even gonna see all this hard work I did, but I will know that I put in that hard work, and I will be proud of myself. So, what else is a video game collection than you being proud of yourself? Oop, I got a little spot back there. Alright, got that saved. Saved it. Okay, next step on here, I'm gonna get yet another paper towel, I think. Yeah, I gotta add that end label. That's right. So I've got a couple other games I gotta put stickers on, but I was kind of waiting until I got all of my Nintendo 64 games cleaned up before I did that. So I'm gonna use a spray of some Method All-Purpose Cleaner. Get on my paper towel here, kind of blot it around a bit. And then I'm going to kind of wipe the edges in here a little bit. Trying to be very careful not to get the label until it's dried off a little more. Once again, getting all that stuff off the end there. That looks pretty good. And then finally, I'm going to take my toothbrush and get in these grooves as well. Those grooves can get pretty gross. Oh yeah, you can see some color coming up off of there. That's not like, you know, ink from the label. That's just grody grime that needs to come off. Right. See if I can do this without any cleaner. I probably need to put a splash of color. You know, I'll just do that. Or not cleaner. I'm just gonna just wipe my toothbrush across the end of my bottle there without even squeezing it, just to get a little bit of that residual stuff on there. And we'll kind of scrub in those little crevices there. Try to get some of that gunk off of there. Get that Nintendo label. That guy's hiding all sorts of garbage in there. Cool. Alright, that's looking pretty good. More grime on the end there. Oh. Table's extra wobbly today. Sorry about that. I was using this table a couple months ago, well, I guess a month ago, for wrapping Christmas presents. So somewhere in there I must have hit something that made it so it's all loose. Get the Cheeto dust of ages past out of there, that's right. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so next up, after we finally clean the outside, we're going to get the cartridge contacts in there. So I'm going to get a Q-tip. I guess I got one right here. It should be still pretty good. The back end of it. So I'm just going to put that right against the end of my squeezy bottle there. Make sure that's nice and wet. Just going to wipe off those contacts with an isopropyl alcohol, 91% is the reference. And yeah, we're getting some gross color off of there. So I got more cleaning to do before I'm ready to put this in my Nintendo 64. Or some good, oh, look at that. That's gross. Ew. It's good that's not even in focus. Watch the cleaning of a Nintendo 64 controller. Craziness. I'd be able to take it apart, but wouldn't be able to put it back together. Yeah, I have taken apart a Nintendo 64 to get a controller to try to replace the joystick off of there. I had a joystick that was totally loose. I mean, it's terrible. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to do a second cleaning for this, but I'll get the most growth off here. But yeah, I did take it apart, put a new joystick in there. One of the like newfangled like game. It was like a kind of joystick from like a Wavebird controller from like a GameCube. I do like it now, but when I put it all together, you're right. Like the Z button feels like it doesn't spring quite like I remember it springing before I took it all apart. Repair the joystick with epoxy. Nice. All right, I'm gonna get another one of these cotton swabs. Yeah, we're just gonna give this a whole second bath, basically. Hopefully this time there won't be as much color coming off cartridges. Contact. No, not too bad. Just a little bit of color there, but not nearly as bad as it was before. When we're done here, this one should be good enough to play. And if it's not, I guess I'll try cleaning it again. My Nintendo 64 is a little fussy. It is not my most reliable system. It has had several falls in its lifetime, playing 4 players, all with wired controllers on GoldenEye and Perfect Dark and Mario Kart and Mario Party. What else? Bomberman 64, Star Fox 64. All these 4-player games back in my middle school and high school days. All it takes is one person to yank on their controller just a little bit too much, and the entire system would come crashing down and land on its face. Yeah, it's not super great. The controller ports are a little goofed up, but it still plays, and it's still mine. So, all right, that one's looking way better than it was when we started, I'd say. Feeling pretty good about that. Ooh, yeah, you can barely see any of that Sharpie on the top anymore. Oop. Oh, I missed a spot. What is that? Get that out of here. What is that? I don't know what that is. I think Mellow Level might have been onto something. I think that is crystallized Cheeto dust. Okay, well. Considering I don't know what that is, that makes it harder to take off. I can try a little more cleaner. Kind of bathe it in that. Let it soak. It's not sticky, it's just a color. It's almost like it's like a paint, maybe. Buffalo wing sauce, that's possible. Child's precious memories with that game. Erased successfully. Boy, that's not... I'm not even getting any color on my thing. It's... Alright, well, that might just have to live there. That might just have to be how that is forever. I mean, we can try the Expo one. I don't think it's going to work. But it shouldn't hurt anything to try that one more time. Ooh, that did it. That's it. So I did kind of darken my entire game a little bit. If you can go back to that cleaner and color off. Good game. We're gonna play my little "Just Beat It" sign. I just beat cleaning hybrid heaven. I would say that's a 3 out of 5 at a time of my life. All right, I'm not going to test that one on stream because I don't have a good way of cleaning testing a Nintendo 64 game on my stream. We're just going to move to the next one and keep going. Next one is Body Harvest with one of those good old stickers on the side and the label. Got a little 44 on here. Yeah, I got some work to do on this one. This sticker, especially on the back part, is going to be a problem. So I guess I need to think about, before I even get started, what's my goal here? I think my goal is going to be don't tear this back label at all if I can. So if that means I need to leave some of this white stuff behind, so be it. I just don't want to lose any of this dark gray label on the back. This is going to be definitely a time to try out our plastic tool first, and if this doesn't do it, we may have to bust out the metal scraper tool. Oh boy, that's on there, huh? Well, I'm being optimistic. The good news is it is coming up a little bit. Bad news is it is not coming up quickly. But we're just going to keep scraping at this with my little plastic tool until we can get a big piece all at once that we can try to grab and try to peel all of this all the way around once we get a big piece of it up. So it's going to take a lot of patience just to work on getting to a part where we get to a big pullable piece. But we'll keep working on it. We'll see how we do. It's going to be a lot easier because I'm not all by myself. I got all of you to help me keep me company here. So thanks for being here. Thanks for keeping me company as I'm slowly pulling away at this. Well, that's immediately tearing just on my fingers, so this is a bad sign. Previous rental game, maybe? I think it is. I think this, especially that 44. Oh, here's another one. Maybe this is from a library. This could be a library's copy that, has been moved on to somebody else. Stubborn. Let's move over here for a bit. Mr. Mullet Gaming, I have not played Body Harvest yet, but I want to say this is a game like I wanted to rent from Blockbuster, and it seemed like it was like always out of stock. Like they probably only had one copy ever, and whoever rented it just like never returned it. So I never got to play. I've never played Body Harvest, but I definitely like the idea of it. Like a game like Body Harvest is one that like you're not looking for it to be the best game. Like it's kind of like the more janky it is, almost the better it is. It's kind of like the Earth Defense Force games, which admittedly I also haven't played. I own several of them, but haven't booted them up yet. Maybe in 2023, maybe that'll be my e-game. Who knows? But yeah, like the B-movie jankness of it is like part of its charm, right? I know one tool some people will use with these old stickers that I don't really have in my arsenal yet is a like a heat gun. Now, I don't think a heat gun would work very well on a very paper sticker like this. I think you would just scorch the paper before you could get the adhesive off. But that's another thing I'm gonna have to experience and level up with. My wife, who's a crafter, she actually has a heat gun as well. So I even have one in this house that I could use to try to attack a sticker like this. It just disintegrates as soon as I even try to lift anything up. This is this is among the worst stickers I think I've had to pull off before. And it's not even on the sticker, like it's not even on the label itself. It's still on just the cartridge part, the plastic. You'd think this would come up, but I think because it was like a paper sticker, it just completely has disintegrated over time. So I could try switching to my metal tool. That would go a little bit faster, but it would also do less of a good job, if that makes sense. Like I think it might it might cut into the plastic a little, which I would like to avoid. But I could try it. There's always a budget option of just a hairdryer on the max. You could try that. So here's the metal version of the Scotty Peeler scraper. I'll try a little bit of it. This does seem to work pretty well on paper ones. Um, it's a little better at getting right underneath there, which isn't admittedly good. I just have to be careful I'm not gouging into the plastic at all. Or it's possible maybe I will gouge into it just a tiny bit, but is it worth it to get a cleaner removal of this sticker? Tore off a big chunk of sticker. Ooh boy. This is the Dark Souls of stickers over here. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. Oof. Thought occurs to me as I'm doing all this too is I still haven't even gotten to the gray label on the back, which is going to be even harder than trying to get on this plastic part. So we may have to cut our losses on the back and just kind of cut the sticker right against the gray or that gray label. But since this is on plastic, I've got a few more options that I can resort to if I need to. Like if I get most of this paper off, I could always move into a Goo Gone-like substance to try to get some of this last bits off. So we may have to resort to that at the end here too. At first, let's see what we can do to get as much of this paper substance off of here. And then we'll move on to some cleaning products later. Yeah, especially on this turn. This turn is being a real struggle. This is a good time to mention that my gloves that I'm wearing are also cut resistant, which is good because I've absolutely cut myself with this tool while trying to do some of these not healthy, not safe maneuvers, scraping this metal blade toward my hands and fingers, close to my face. Ooh, that was a good piece. Keep that going. My mat is like just covered in like shards of sticker remnants. These Nintendo 64 games are definitely taking a lot longer than I anticipated they would today. So I may not get as far into my cleaning stream as I was hoping for. See how far we can we'll make it. Still have all my vinyl cases to go too, which won't take as long, thankfully. Ooh, did I get underneath it? Almost. All right, here we go. That's progress. All right, Mr. Mulligaman, thanks so much for coming in. Hope you don't get yourself buried under that snow. Hope you have a good Sunday. And I'm sure I will chat with you more later. All right, well, we did our best. Didn't get all of it. The gray label is still intact, though. We've just sort of taken off some of that fabric that was on top of it. See if any of this will come up pretty easily. Of course not. Of course not. Why would I even have a hope in my head? Dang, the 7-10 split. Just out of curiosity, I'm able to get under here a little bit. Yeah? 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 I may be able to save at least some of this gray label. Real slow. Try not to gouge anything. I can continue to get underneath it. It. Well, at least the bottom part we had some progress. Interesting that the bottom part of this sticker is coming up a little bit, but the top part is like absolutely sealed on there. There we go. Making some progress. I feel like I'm like a old archivist at a museum or something right now. I'm trying to save this old ancient painting. I mean, it's just Body Harvest on Nintendo 64. This is not exactly a piece of artwork hanging up at the fanciest museums in the world. Like, I could have just spent another, I don't know, $5 or $10 and gotten one that was in better shape than this, so I didn't have to do this. But no! We must clean. We must save the cartridge. Save the games. There's only so many Body Harvests in existence. They're not making more. It's worth millions, or like, I don't know, $22.50. Oh, got another good piece there. Oh. I suppose the reason this sticker part is actually coming up easier than I expected is probably because it's actually just a really flat surface compared to the rest of the sticker. That texture part of it somehow made it so like I can't just get underneath the whole thing at once. But at least the sticker part, this label part, although it's another piece of paper that's really hard to unbond, I guess you could say. It's very flat, so I'm able to kind of get my metal tool mostly underneath the white part and still stay on top of that gray part. It's funny that I don't play Dark Souls, and yet I feel like this is absolutely... I'm cleaning this cartridge the same way you gotta take down a Dark Souls boss. Like, you gotta, like, play with it a little bit to learn what its patterns are. Learn its attack patterns. Probably die a few times. But eventually, you just find a way to cheese it over and over again. Takes forever. And by the time you're done with it, you're going to feel so accomplished. Though, you're right, I bet I could probably buy a copy of Dark Souls and play that game for cheaper than what I spent on this copy of Body Harvest. Some of those Dark Souls games are still like $10. Take a break from that section and move over to this cartridge part for a bit. disintegrates in my finger. No way to pull that up. I feel like I'm going to need to get out the vacuum cleaner to get up all these paper shards all over my desk. Get out a handheld or a shark or something. Oh, that's some good progress. Well, it was. See if I can get off a little bit more of this white stuff. A lot better. Get a tiny bit more off. Yeah. Whew. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, let's get this 44 off next. Yeah, soon. But first, let's get the 44 off. We get this 44 off. We will take some cleaner to it. The hard part is over. At least for this game. No, the next one's not as bad. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'll turn it over and it'll look terrible. Phew. Okay. Yeah, no, it's coming off a little bit. That's good. Going. Pretty good. I guess I can try one more coat. One more coat, and then we'll move on to all-purpose cleaner on it. Let that cleaner kind of sit on that sticker residue part for a bit. Again, trying to avoid the label still. Let that eat away at it as I clean the other parts of it. I'll come back to it later. And then we're going to try a fresh cleaning on here. What I'm going to do, again, the cool thing about this, when I'm on a work mat, I'm just going to pick up this whole mat and dump it in the trash can. I'll be right back. There we are. Good as new. All right. All right, so Body Harvest here is doing pretty good. And try one other tool I gotta use sparingly. I've got heptane here, which is kind of like a rubber cement cleaner. I'm gonna get a fresh paper towel and put a little dab of this on there and try to hit up some of that sticker residue, avoiding the label for sure with this. Let's see if I can get some of the cartridge this guy. Little dab. Put it all on there. Visual store. with this mostly dry one, kind of dried out at this point. See if I can get just 10% more of that sticker goo off the spray label without ruining anything, but I think I'm going to get dangerously close to ruining things, so I'll just leave it. Give it one more cleaner bath. A little bit. Too much, just a smidge. Alright, it's looking better. I got a little grime in the middle there. I'm gonna see if I can get my toothbrush with it. Probably need to get a little bit of cleaner on that. There we go. That's better. Cartridge connectors, or what goes in your system. End pieces. Stop one more time. One final wipe down. And we will call this, the outside at least, as clean as we're going to get it. Got, again, a little bit of a discoloration on that label, but considering I was originally thinking we would just have to like just leave that white stuff on there, I'm pretty happy with that. I will take that. Front's looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good with that. Feeling pretty good. Last step, we still haven't even cleaned these cartridges, the contacts yet, which is like, you know, the real thing you got to make sure you do. Who cares about the front as long as the game plays? Get them on the tip, get inside there and wipe down those contacts. And then check for color. Oh, it's bad. I don't know what else I was expecting. We got color. We got grime. Yeah. Yeah, that's real gross. That's bad. I'm gonna wipe that one off. We're just gonna go right to the back end, give it another douse of IPA. Nice and soggy. Wet as I've ever gotten a Q-tip for this job. Wipe down both sides a little bit. Get that, let that eat at those contacts. Alright, it's already looking better than it was. Already doing a lot better. Still gross though, but here's your MR for cleaning. Nice good cleaning sound on there for you. Alright, need another Q-tip. Look at this underside especially. It's still pulling up a little bit of color. There are other ways to clean these contacts that sometimes I'll do. Sometimes I like to use one of these pink erasers. and just kind of erase the contacts. That said, I think Nintendo 64 games are notoriously hard for me to like take apart and put back together, with that like kind of metallic shell that's in there. So I usually just start with the Q-tip. Usually it's enough. Usually it's good. And then if I really need it, if I'm really struggling and still can't get this to play, then maybe I'll open this up and try to really eat those contacts. But for now, I think we can say goodbye to Body Harvest. Say hello to our last final Nintendo 64 game, Robotron 64. This one, I think, just needs cleaned up, though the contacts, I don't know if you can see in there very well. That's pretty good look. Those contacts are pretty bad. So this is one where, oh, and obviously it's got this, like, bubblegum garbage on the back sticker. I think, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, probably not. I think that's not on top of the gray label. I think that's eaten away at the... Yeah, it looks like someone has, like, torn the gray label and then, like, somehow colored it with stuff. So, oh yeah, you can see a little bit of, like, permanent marker on the outside of this label. So basically, this is one where you got a couple options of how you'd want to clean something. Like, you could go in there and say, I'm going to try to get out all this permanent marker on the outside. It was a design choice by the previous owner. That's right. So I could try to take that out, or I could say, that looks fine. It's fine. It's not as noticeable as some other things. It's not like it's a big giant, like someone's previous last name on the cartridge. So I think and I can see like all the way through here, there's like some, like that's actual cartridge down there. Like that's underneath the label. So I think for fear of making this permanently worse, I'm going to leave the back as is, maybe just a little wipe down on the outside with the cleaner. But I don't think I'm going to try to tackle any of this permanent marker on this. The big thing is I got to get out these contacts that are real dirty looking. I find a sports game to notate its back and stuff like that. If it doesn't bother you. That's true. Yeah, you could always do a donor case. Certainly could. I guess technically that little 20 that's imprinted on the sticker right there tells you that it belongs to this cartridge, and not the sports cartridge on there. So like, you know, someone in theory could tell. But I think I'm okay with just having a little bit of goof on the back, as long as the front is good and the top is fine. Like I don't care nearly as much. I'm gonna go out of order on this one, and I'm gonna work on the contacts first on this one, and then move on to like an overall cleanup. Mostly because the cartridge part is the contacts part is the really bad part on this specific. This one, if you like your colors, this is gonna be one. You. Or it's got a peak. It's not good. Not good. I'm not even going to get the backside yet. I'm just going to work on this one side. Gross. Gross. This one is going to take a few trips around. That whole thing is just awful. That's just awful. That's gross. How many more of these Q-tips do I got? Oh boy, I might run out. Might run out by the end of the stream. Good news is not getting as much color anymore. On the third attempt, we've really gotten the color to come down. I'm not sure about the backside though. Probably still. Yeah, it's still pretty good. Yep. Still getting quite a bit of color considering this is fourth attempt now cleaning this one. This one dropped in a mud puddle or something. It's bad. But at least it's not going into my Nintendo 64 with that gunk on it. Alright, I'm going to call that good enough. Move on to my drying phase, an unalcoholed Q-tip. To see what else we can wipe down off here. If this comes up mostly clean, then yeah, which it does. I think we're good. I think we'll be okay. Now we're not nearly as bad as we were. Still not great, but it's not as bad. So that's good. Let's just give this one quick wipe with some cleaner all around it. Just kind of clean up the overall presentation of this cartridge. Got a little grime on it. And then we'll get the toothbrush in there too. Toothbrush action. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some color off the cartridge. Oof. Saw pieces of plaque come right off of there. Off what we just put on it. Wipe down. All right. Ready for that dental hygienist side job. That's right. Robotron 64, have you been flossing regularly? Don't lie to me. Well, I'd say that's good enough. That should play. We'll test it out. If it's good, we'll put a label sticker on there, put it on my shelf, put it in my game catalog. Good to go. Ooh, okay. What's next? I have one more fun pickup I want to show off here too, which is I was at my parents' place over Christmas break, and I found this guy. Who remembers what this is? A little Nintendo logo in the bottom corner. This would be the mouse pad that came with Mario Paint on Super Nintendo. It has been living who knows where in my parents' house for a long time, and it's just really dirty. So we're just gonna wipe it off. Is all we're really doing here. We're just gonna try to get it clean. Any of those big goofy goof ups, take them off. Grody. An ancient piece of graph paper. The one-time use graph paper. You just take your chisel to it. Just gonna fold that over and just give it another bath. It's still gross. I'm still getting color off of here. Way worse than I thought it was. Oof. Look at all that. That's after my first... That's like already the second attempt at cleaning this. We're gonna need a third. We're gonna need a fresh paper towel to get this guy off. Yeah. Right on top of this one. I don't think it'll make a difference, but what? It's better. Still some color off of here, but it's not as bad as it was. It's like probably the motto of my channel. Not as bad as it was. Alright, I think it's now clean enough to eat off of. In case you thought this was like a TV tray or something. Now it's ready for you. Any more weird crevices I need to get at? I don't know what that white part is. Might see if I can get that with my peeler, maybe. Nope. Not coming up at all. Or the Sharpie, maybe? Nope. Oh. Alright. Got my old Mario Paint Super Nintendo mouse pad. Once again. Very exciting. Alright, so next up, I've got some labels to clean. Final games. Here's a whole pile of them. But I'm hoping this will go pretty fast. And they should just take my plastic one. So in the GameStop 5-4 for $20 deal, picked up Knack 2. Got a sticker on the front and back. We'll just stick a little power-up rewards card in there. Excuse me. And then we'll just kind of scrape that away. This should be a lot easier. I don't think these stickers are that old. It actually says November 7th is the date of this sticker. One of these corners should come up. There it is. There we are. Oh no. There's another sticker behind it that's stuck on there permanently. Oh, why do I have to have hope? Why haven't I not learned by now? This corner up. Almost, just gotta keep going. There's something underneath that sticker that's old and stuck forever. How about now? Still tearing. Alright, so the sticker's off. We just have a lot of this goo left over. Try the old-fashioned pick it up with its own stickiness method. That doesn't seem to work. In fact, I left a little fresh residue on here. Now I gotta get that. There we go. So what we're gonna do now, this is where my bottle of heptane is gonna come in. So we'll use this heptane on nylon cases, on sticky stuff. We'll start here. If this still doesn't come up at all, then my next step is Goo Gone. However, Goo Gone can be a little too strong on this vinyl and can eat away at the vinyl itself. It can leave like a permanent orange smell if you don't find a way to get it up. Before time. And then we'll see if that comes up pretty well. It's a little better, but not great. You can still see quite a lot of goo there. I'm not gonna lie, it's not working as well as I was hoping it would. So I think we gotta call in reinforcements. Call in the Goo Gone. Bit of that. And then we'll go back over it with heptane. Get off can off there. And by now I should be able to see those little bits just to scrape right off. Go. Those bits. Alright. That's looking better. A few little residual goos on there. Way better than it was. Got one on the back to take off. It hopefully won't leave residue this time, but at this point, it probably will. It looks like it's got 2 layers of sticker on it, which is the problem. But the good news I see is it was on the plastic bit, so I can kind of peel that up pretty easily, actually. Oh no, it's still leaving that sticky goo. Nope, that's gonna need More goo gone, and then more heptane. Let that part off. Now I'll switch over to heptane and kind of wipe off that goo gone that I just put on there with that heptane. That's pretty clean now. A little bit more right on the barcode. I'll take that. Take that. All right. Snack 2, let's hope it keeps getting easier from here. Up is Killzone Shadowfall. Now there's one really easy one here, I hope, which is there is a spine sticker, but it's just a loose sticker. They never actually stuck onto the label. So shout out to whoever did that. Thank you for not ruining my day. See if we can remove this $7.99 sticker. Easy mode. You got that one, no problem. Excellent. Excellent. No residual goo on that one. Hope the back goes just as well. To get underneath all layers of this. So many stickers, you can't even find all of them. Almost like I want to get this one off. There we go. And then start working on this last one. There we go. Excellent. Whew. We got an easy one. Excellent. Next up, another super easy one, hopefully. Dragon Quest Builders. Excited for that. That under, looks like we just have one layer of sticker to remove here. So it is not a new sticker. It looks like it's the date on here is August 20th, 2022. That's not too bad. Got to find a corner to get under here. We'll be in good shape. Another easy one. We like easy ones. We were due for an easy one. Dragon Quest Builders, a good one to have in a good shape. Next up is Star Wars Squadrons. Another 4 for 20 pickup. In order to get started, once we got started, whole thing will come on. Stop. Here's our double layer sticker over here. See if we can get under this one and get them both at once, or if we'll have to do them separately. So far, oop, I got a little tear there, so make sure we get under that too. Oh yeah, that feels good. Right off there, one peel, no mess, good stuff. Next up is a janked up a little bit Star Wars Battlefront 2 case. It's got a little gouge in it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's got one sticker on the back. Let's get that off as well. Looking good. Right off in one. Boom. Excellent. Speaking of Star Wars, I've got some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for you. Oh, there's a corner. Oof, just a little residual goo right at the end. Oof. That comes right off of it. Cool. In order. Next up is Wasteland 3. One sticker on the back there too. Part's going a lot faster, I gotta say. I'm liking that this is not taking as much time as those big old cartridges. But oh, this one's right up. It was right away. Right away. Boom. Easy mode. Wasteland 3. Sinking City, which I did notice has a refurbished sticker on the back. That's what that big R means. So hopefully This disc itself won't give me any trouble. Take a peek at it here, just to make sure. Ooh, that one's not coming up clean. Too bad. Get my plastic piece underneath it. Courage as it comes up. Take that goo with it. If I have to use a little cleaner on the end here, that's okay. It's just a dab of heptane. Also, right here it says made in Mexico. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to not take that off. I've done that before. I'm just cleaning this and not paying attention where I go. All of a sudden I wipe over that made in Mexico and I look up and all of a sudden my thing is blue and that made in Mexico sign is gone. Take that. Close enough. Still says made in Mexico. Thinking City. Thanks to Scotch and Hobbies for recommending this one. Well, I guess I haven't played it yet, so if it sucks, then darn you, Scotch and Hobbies. How dare you? Last one we have for today is a Ridge Racer 64. This one doesn't have any stickers on it, but it does have just a dirty, grimy case. Just a dirty, grimy case. So we're going to have to just kind of give this one a big bath. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to take out all the pieces and parts. Slide gently. Book out gently. Take the artwork out gently. Put all that to the side. So I can really see this case and all of its growiness, and I can really go at it with the cleaner and not ruin all the labels and stuff that are in there. Get a fresh paper towel. Two sprays this time. Get it nice. But we can scrub off this junk. Ew. That's gross. I was just going to put that on my shelf without cleaning it, you know? Would have been infecting my whole setup. Now, I've seen some people, what they'll do with this, when they have a case this bad, is they'll actually just like dunk the whole thing in give it a bath, really. They'll dunk the whole thing in there to make sure they just get every bit of this clean, instead of just wiping it down like I'm doing. Maybe if I had a bunch of cartridges that were really bad, or had something like smoke damage or something like that, I might mess with that. I don't think this one is going to be needing all of it. I think we're okay. Yeah. Just the outside. We still got some grime there, so I'll give it a spritz. Don't want to use anything stronger than all-purpose cleaner on this, at least at this point, because I don't want to do any damage to this, and I'm not trying to, get it back to like new quality necessarily. I'm just trying to get off, some of these worst bits. I'll try to get the corners, edges. Certainly looking a lot better than it was when I got. Oh, I got stickers all over it now. That got the game a little bit wet when I was doing that, but seems like it's okay. Artwork. There we are. Ridge Racer 64 looking much cleaner than it was before. Happy with that. Phew. All right. Well, now I've got a much cleaner set of games. Acid bath. That's right. You just dump it in a whole vat of acid. Get it all clean. So let's quickly show off what we had cleaned here today, just to see it all at once. Had the Super Nintendo mouse pad. We had Ridge Racer 6, an Xbox 360, pile of Xbox One games: Sinking City, Wasteland 3, Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Star Wars Squadrons. PS4 games. We had Dragon Quest Builders, Killzone Shadowfall, and Knack 2. All pickups in the GameStop 4 for $20 sale. Had some cartridges as well. We got Robotron 64. We had Barty Harvest. Boy, that one was a fun one, wasn't it? Who remembers that? That was a good time, cleaning that. And then Hybrid Heaven, which had the permanent marker on the top, which now seems like such a small thing compared to what we've been messing with all day. And I'm going to throw all my Nintendo DS games on the floor. So we had Batman Blackgate. Oh, let's see. There's the game for that. We had Amazing Spider-Man 2. Had Rainbow Island. Had Space Invaders Extreme 2. Had New Zealand Story. Had Devilish. And one more DS game that has fallen to the floor. There it is. Who can forget Jake Power Fireman? And then finally, we had a Game Boy Advance game as well, the Nicktoons 4-pack. So these are all the games we cleaned today. So I think that's going to pretty much do it for me. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning into my cleaning stream. I hope you had a nice, relaxing Sunday. I hope you have more to come. And I hope you find some fun things to do for yourself, make you happy. Hopefully it's some video games. Maybe it's cleaning your video games. Whatever it is, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching Crown the Lion, Mellow Level. Mr. Mullet Gaming was in here. Bad Times, Good Times was in here. Top Spot was in here. We had so many people hanging out. We had Blink was in here. We had so many. So thanks everybody for tuning in today. Let's see. I don't know if I've got anyone worth hosting. Let's see if we can... Is there anybody on there doing anything right now? Let's find out. I'm going to hit the raid button. Is anybody doing anything? Not particularly at the moment. No one else. A small channel that I want to show off at this point. No point in sending you to like Games Done Quick or something. I think you can find that channel on your own probably. So we'll just end it here. So once again, thanks so much, everybody. See you next time.